Hello ladies and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are using my phone again because I'm on a strict time schedule. It's already 9 p.m. I didn't even realize I was playing Goat Simulator 3 and I was like, what in God's green earth is going on here? So I gotta get this video out fast, and so the mic quality may be a little bad, so if it is, I apologize for that. But today we're going to be going over 10 hot takes that I have when it comes to automobiles. Song of the day is a song called Fun by Young Dolph and this other guy. I can't remember the other guy's name, but obviously I'll have a picture of it up on the screen now. But it's a rap song, so if you don't like rap music, don't listen to it. If you do, go give it a shot. But yeah, what I mean by hot takes are just unpopular opinions, things that I think about cars all the time, but I have a feeling most people would disagree with that idea. Obviously, I'm going to try to explain myself. For the background footage, I'm probably just going to use like some random videos of cars just being cool. I really don't know what to use for the background footage, so the background footage is probably going to be really uninteresting, but the key takeaway is 10 unpopular opinions that I have with cars. Without further ado, let's go right into the list with number 10. Okay, coming in at number 10 is, first of all, I want to say before we get into it that I literally love like all cars. So there's going to be some parts in here where I might be like, this car is bad, blah, blah. But I don't actually not like that car. Like I love like even the boring cars that most people don't love. Toyota Corollas, Camrys, like I like that stuff too. I just like cars in general. But the first one is European car guys love to split up the community, and that's not like not every single one of them, obviously. I think the way I look at it is the older Euro guys. So if you have like an E36, E46, or earlier A4s or earlier Mark 4 GTIs, Mark 5 GTIs, usually they're fine. But once you get into like the guys that have like the new BMWs and stuff like that, which is what I want to get an F30 340i, they love to sit there and act like their cars are so much better than any American car, any Japanese car. If you like Japanese, you're wrong. If you like American, you're wrong. And then on top of that, they even do it with themselves. Like they have big, like, you're like, oh, you like Mercedes? You're an idiot. Dude, if somebody came up, I like Nissan, like the best of all the Japanese brands. If someone came up to me and was like, I like Toyota the best, I'd be like, oh yeah, those are cool. You know, I wouldn't be like, you're an idiot. It's Nissan's better, man. It's ridiculous. Coming in at the number 8 is going to make some people mad, but that's why it's a hot takes video, because I think black wheels are boring. And what I mean by that is they're not bad. I don't like, people are going to take that the wrong way and be like, if you have black wheels on your car, you have ugly wheels on your car. No, I don't think they're ugly. I think it's actually quite the opposite, honestly. I think your wheels are nice. The problem is that I can't see them. I hate that. I love to be able to look at the design of the wheel. Like that's like 95% of the fun of the wheel. The color is just the other 5%. But the design is what really makes it like stand out. Like you can't put like rotiform wheels on like a S chassis, you know, that would just look weird. And so I like looking at the design of wheels, but black wheels, you can't. It's very hard to see that design unless the car's sitting still and you're like right up next to it, and then you can see it. But as it drives by, it just looks like a black blob underneath the car, and I think it's just boring. It's not bad, it's just boring. And yes, some cars do look better with black wheels, I'll admit it. Like supercars look great with black wheels, but still, I don't know. Coming into the number 7 spot is one that I think people are actually starting to agree with me on. The Porsche 911 GT3 RS is overrated. I've been saying this since they became popular. They're overrated, dude. They're not a bad car, obviously. It's a freaking Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I don't think I have to explain myself when I say that the car is not bad, but it's overrated. A car can be incredible, but still be overrated. Like the Mark 4 Supra, it's an incredible car. Is it overrated? Yeah. The R34 GTR, incredible car. Is it overrated? Yes. The GT3 RS, is it incredible? Yes. Is it overrated? Yes. And the reason why is because people always will be like, it's the best supercar that you can buy, but it's just not. It isn't. I don't even think it's in the top 10 for the Nürburgring lap times anymore. I don't think so. I think Lamborghini has like an Aventador in there. Mercedes has the AMG GTR, but like there's a bunch of cars. The 911 GT2 RS, yeah, but they don't talk about that one for some reason. They only talk about the GT3 RS. And I get the whole like, well, it's a good bang for your buck, dude. If you really cared about bang for your buck, you just buy a Corvette or a GTR or an M3 and get the exact same performance out of it with some modifications for literally a fraction of the price. Coming in at the number 6 spot is nobody, and I mean not a soul in this world. I don't care if you're freaking Joseph Stalin. Nobody in the world can hate the BMW E30. Seriously, think about that for a second. Like, how many times have you talked to a guy and you bring up the BMW, a car guy, and you bring up the BMW E30, or you see a BMW E30, and you're both just like, yeah, that's a cool car. Never. How often have you ever seen somebody hate on the BMW E30? It's never happened. It's never happened. It's impossible because no one in the world can hate the BMW E30, man. If you do hate the BMW E30, you're wrong. You're wrong. You don't actually hate it. You just don't like BMWs. But you like the E30. You know you do because the E30 is a freaking legend. It's just like the R32 GTR, right? R32 GTR is an incredible car. Everybody loves it. But these people that go around saying that they don't like it, they secretly like it. Like if they saw an R32 GTR drive by, or if they saw a BMW E30 drive by, they're gonna stop and stare because everybody likes it. Coming in at number 5 spot is definitely a very, very hot take. This is one that's been controversial since the dawn of time, since dinosaurs were walking our earth. They were talking about whether or not this is true, and it is rear wheel drive is the most fun of the bunch. Obviously, the bunch that I'm talking about is all wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and front wheel drive. Yes, there's 4x4 and there's 4-wheel drive, and those are different from all wheel drive, but I'm not going to count those because I'm not a truck guy. So but what is going on with my TV? Xbox is popping off. But yeah, rear wheel drive in my opinion is the most fun. I've had 2 front wheel drive cars now, and I've had 1 rear wheel drive car. Given admittedly my rear wheel drive car was significantly more like powerful, it had close to 270 horsepower, while my other 2 cars are below 150 horsepower that were front wheel drive. So that could be it. I get that. But I love doing donuts. I love doing burnouts. And I know it's like ghetto behavior or whatever, and people don't like it anymore. I don't care if people don't like it. I love doing it. It's so much fun. Drifting is a blast. Obviously, if you're going into like the canyons and you're just a new driver, front wheel drive is probably going to be the most fun for you because they really like a front wheel drive lightweight Honda Civic or Integra like I have. Yeah, that is a blast. But overall, I think I had way more fun in my rear wheel drive 350Z. Number 4 is going to one that a lot of people like to hate on these guys, and I don't want to hate on them, but it's daddy's money kids are just a little bit too out of touch with reality. I'm not saying if you're a daddy's money kid, and you know whether or not you're a daddy's money kid. So if you are, dude, I have nothing against you whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like if you have a freaking Lamborghini and it's because your dad bought it for you and you're 16 years old, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. That's awesome. The problem is that a lot of the daddy's money kids think that everybody else is also in that same boat as them, and so then they go around making fun of people that don't have like the cars that they have, and they like act like it's so easy, dude, why don't you have this car? Or they make fun of people that aren't in the same boat as them. That's where I have a problem with it, and it happens way too much now. It happens so often. You'll see like a TikTok of an M4 and I'll be like, that's a nice car, then you look at the kid's account when he's 18 years old. It's like, could he have earned that himself? Yeah, he could have technically, but he would have to be the top 1% of his age group in order to do that. So most likely he has it from daddy's money, and he's hating on other people, like making fun of other people, because he doesn't understand that we don't have that luxury of just being like, hey dad, can you buy me an M4? And he's just going to go out and buy the M4. We don't have that. And so I have nothing against them, and I know that they just want to be a part of the community, and part of the community is trash talking each other. But when you freaking are literally like sitting there acting like you're so much better than everybody else because your dad bought a car for you, it's kind of sad. Which actually perfectly leads me into 3rd place, which is being a D-bag to kids is the most sad thing in the world. Dude, I see it all the time in TikTok comments, Instagram comments. These kids love cars that they just now learned about, so they hype up cars that honestly don't deserve the hype that they're getting. Mark IV Supras, R34 GTRs are the 2 obvious ones right now, but the GT3 RS is another one that I think is very popular. The RS6 Avants. But what happens is they go into these comments and they say, that's the best car in the world, it's the best car ever made, because they're a kid, they're 12 years old, of course they're going to say that. I said the same thing when I was that age. And then people are freaking grown men, like 23-year-old kids like me, even older than that sometimes, are replying to them like, you're an idiot, you're so stupid, how could you think that? He is a child, an actual child, like he's not even a teenager yet, dude, and you're hating on him. You're arguing with not a toddler, but a kid. You are arguing. Let him have fun. He'll learn. We all did. We all said the same thing. I did it all the time with the RX-7. I would literally used to all the time be like, RX-7 is the best car in the world, and I would stand on business with it. I would argue with old people in comment sections on it all the time. I was obviously wrong, but I learned my lesson, not through those idiots, but through a bunch of freaking comments or a bunch of videos and stuff like that, and just researching the car. You don't need to be a D-bag to them. They'll learn. Just let them have fun while they can. Second place, however, I got a little bit frustrated at that one. I apologize, guys. That was a side of mark you've never seen. But second place is flipping cars is not for all car guys. I had to say it. Had to be said. Every car guy in the world thinks that they can flip cars and become an incredibly profitable business. And I get it. Everybody thinks it. You know, every car guy has thought about that at least once. I would be lying if I said I hadn't myself, okay? Everyone has been like, how hard would it actually be to just buy like a 330 Ci for $3,000 and sell it for $5,000? It's harder than you think. And on top of that, it's not even just harder than you think, but it's a lot more work than you think. A lot of people, that goes into a lot of things in general. Like, a lot of people make fun of like rich people, and they hate rich people that are in real estate, right? Because why wouldn't you? I mean, they get rich off of other people. It makes sense. But they always say like, oh, they did nothing. Everybody always thinks that like these people have a much easier job than it actually is. As a matter of fact, with YouTube, I see that quite often. I'm not saying my job's hard. Don't get me wrong. I literally get to talk to a camera all day, and that's my job. But a lot of people think it's so much easier than it is, and that's exactly how it is with flipping cars. It's tough, man. You have to know a lot about cars. It takes a lot of time. You have to know the market for that car. You have to deal with Facebook Marketplace people, which is number one big problem. I freaking hate that. It is a lot of work to flip just one car, and in order to do it full time as like a business, it's tough. There's a reason why the dealership guys do it all day long, and they spend all day just buying and selling cars, because it takes a lot of time to be successful at it. And finally, my biggest hot take that I have with cars, but I don't even know if it would be considered a hot take. It's just kind of an opinion. But having 50 mid cars is better, way better than having just one supercar. What I mean by mid cars is like, you give me a $5,000 Mark III Supra, a 3rd gen Acura TL, an E36 328i, 330 Ci, E46, like under 10 grand cars. You give me 50 of those, dude, I am going to be 10 billion times happier than if you gave me like one McLaren P1, which is saying something, because the McLaren P1, besides the FD RX-7, which I love the FD RX-7, but besides the FD RX-7, the McLaren P1 is my dream car. I love those cars. If somebody came up to me with one McLaren P1 and was like, would you rather have this, or would you rather have the money to go buy 50 just average, you know, under 10 grand sports cars? I'm easily taking the money, dude. It's so much more fun to have that. And on top of that, you can't like modify you can modify supercars, but not as much as you can these like tuners. And that's so much fun. Having those memories with your friends and having just a little collection going of these little sports cars is so much more cool to me than just one supercar. I could never ever do that. Like, I think about like if I got rich, and I would be like, yeah, I'd obviously get a supercar, but then I actually think about it, and it's like, if I got rich, dude, I would just keep buying like garages and just stuffing them full of tuner cars, man. Like, I'd have every tuner car you could think of: Chasers, A86, Celicas, MR2s. Those are all Toyotas. I don't know why I just went off there, but all the Fairlady Zs, all the Fairlady Zs, all the Skylines, Silvias, all 3 Series, all 5 Series, all 2 Series, all 6 Series. Of course, I love 6 Series. I would just have so many tuner cars. It would be awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the 10 hot takes that I have with automobiles. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Like I said, I really got to get going, so it's already 9:11, which, ooh, scary time, but it's already 9:11, and I got to get the background footage for this video still, and then upload it tonight before 10. I like to try and do it before 10, because most of you guys go to bed around then, so I'm on a tight time schedule, so I gotta go. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know any hot takes you have, or any one of these that you disagree with. Again, it's a hot takes list. These are just opinions. You're gonna disagree with them. Get used to it, bud. But anyway, das vidanya. Have a nice night.